Philadelphia Eagles training camp instant reaction is coming your way on today's Eagles Now. I'm Chase Sr. Appreciate all of you for being here with us. And no matter where you are, how you're tuned in, thank you for making today's show a part of your day. Before we get started, we're going live in a few hours here right on the channel. Thursday, 5 o'clock Eastern, 2 o'clock Pacific in just a few hours to really break down all of the marquee storylines throughout training camp so far. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, you turn on those notifications, and you join us. And if you plan on hopping on board and hanging out with us this afternoon, hit that thumbs up icon and like the video, and give me a real John down below in the comment section, because if you hop on board and join us, that means that you're a real one. Training camp news coming at you. Nakobe Dean appeared to get injured during today's practice, and this is somewhat of an interesting development because Haason Reddick did have the pads on, but has been a limited participant the last couple of days. So at that linebacker spot, even though Dean and Reddick, obviously different players who play different positions, getting hit with the injury bug there. So Nakobe Dean not with the first team or second team defense today to start practice. He was on the sideline, but without a helmet. So Christian Ellis and Nicholas Morrow were the starting backers for Philadelphia. Now, a team staffer did say that after Nakobe Dean went into the tent, quote, "He is fine." But we'll, of course, continue to monitor this. The Eagles, the last 2 years under this Nick Sirianni regime, since changing the medical staff after Doug Peterson, have continued to be one of the healthiest teams in the National Football League. So up to this point, no major injuries for Philadelphia, but we'll continue to monitor the status with Nakobe Dean as he heads into a big year two, as the first Eagles preseason game is next weekend. Cam Jurgens continues to impress in training camp, and every single day of practice, it's been him flanking Jason Kelce at right guard. Now, Jurgens was drafted to be Jason Kelce's future replacement at that center spot, but after Philadelphia drafted Tyler Steen going into this year, it was supposed to be somewhat of a training camp battle between the two young players in Jurgens as well as Tyler Steen. But every day of practice, he's gotten the start there, as I said, and this has been the starting offensive line group for Philadelphia, as last year they only had to play 6 total offensive linemen. That only came when Lane Johnson did get hurt against the Dallas Cowboys and missed the remainder of the regular season before coming back in the playoffs. That offensive line last year, the best in football, with Jordan Mailata, Landon Dickerson, Jason Kelce, Isaac Seumalo was there. That's why it's important for Jurgens to step up and develop at right guard. Then Lane Johnson, who's not given up a sack since November of 2020, anchoring that right side of the line of scrimmage. Every member of that Eagles offensive line last year was an All-Pro, a Pro Bowler, or a Pro Bowl alternate. Now that you lose Seumalo, is right guard going to be a weakness? The athleticism that I saw from Jurgens in the preseason last year was ultra impressive. He was able to get out in space on some of those pull blocks, open up some lanes for running backs at that second and third level, and so far so good for Jurgens. Interesting Nolan Smith notes here. He's been one of the standout stars in training camp up to this point, and Nolan Smith getting some first-team defensive reps at practice today. Why? Well, I think it was because Nakobe Dean was out, but Nolan Smith keeps balling, and today getting run with the first-team defense at off-ball linebacker. I think this goes to show you how freaky of an athlete he is, because we think of Nolan Smith, and obviously his biggest strength is as a pass rusher with that elite first step, the bend around the line of scrimmage, allowing him to get good leverage on opposing offensive tackles. He could be a really good pass rusher in this league. That's a massive strength for him. But if he can also add this to his arsenal, where he could be an off-ball linebacker as well, drop into coverage, and use that athleticism to his advantage, where he can run that 4.3, 4.4 40-yard dash that he ran in the pre-draft process. It's going to allow him to see the field a little bit more as a rookie because of the versatility, and it adds and helps out and aids this Eagles defense because you can use him as a multifaceted weapon. So much left to get to here on the show, but because it's a new month, we have an NFC East sub-battle here inside the walls of Chat Sports. Now, the Philadelphia Eagles ran through this division last year in 2022. The only losses that they had, one loss to the Commanders, a loss to the Dallas Cowboys, but that came when Gardner Minshew started during the holiday. So let's beat and annihilate all of these NFC East counterparts with the most subscribers here in August, the final month until the start of the regular season. And if you want to have fun with this down in the comment section, let's see who the real ones are. Type F Dallas, F NYG, F Washington, and Go Birds down below. And if you're looking for year-round coverage of the Eagles, this is your go-to spot right here on YouTube. Let's go to the running back position now. DeAndre Swift, is he going to be RB1? He definitely looks the part up to this point where DeAndre Swift has been the most skilled and the best playmaker at that running back spot. And this is certainly an interesting development here. What is Nick Sirianni going to do with his starting running backs? Nick Sirianni, describing Swift prior to practice today, called him a, quote, playmaker. But what's of note here is that Trey Sermon, who was a third-round pick 2 years ago by the San Francisco 49ers, didn't crack that roster last year. They let him go. Philadelphia picked him up. He's been getting a lot of praise. He's been having a good camp. And Nick Sirianni has gone out of his way to mention that Trey Sermon has been really good. And if he would have fallen to the Philadelphia Eagles in the draft a couple of years ago in 2022, the Eagles would have wanted to take him. But there's a little bit of a backlog at that running back position because DeAndre Swift is playing so well, but because Rashad Penny was a free agent acquisition. Kenneth Gainwell was one of the best backs statistically in the NFL playoffs last year. You brought back Boston Scott. Is there going to be an odd man out of this Eagles running back rotation? Swift today had a 20-yard touchdown to the left side of Jordan Mailata. It was against the second-string defense, but it looked good nonetheless. And then the other day, made a really nice catch. And that ability, I think, is what can separate Swift in this offense. What he's done his first 3 years running the football with a limited workload because he's been a little bit banged up has been impressive. Last year, he led all running backs in yards per touch, 99 carries, 542 yards, 5.5 yards per carry. Him as a scheme fit in this Eagles system, a system that gives running backs the opportunities to obviously pick up yards behind this offensive line, but the misdeception with Jalen Hurts in the backfield, but also utilizing these running backs in the pass game can allow him to have a really big season because Swift is a capable ball catcher. 46 catches year one, 62 year two, last year 48, and he can stack up some touchdowns through the air as well. I can't wait to see how the Eagles utilize him as a running back in this offense. Kelly Green jerseys, as we know, are here, and you can start ordering yours right now if you weren't able to go to the Eagles Pro Shop in New Jersey at Lincoln Financial Field or the one in Lancaster. Chatsports.com/Kelly Green. You can order yours. I ordered my Jason Kelce one yesterday. I can't wait for it to get to the Chat Sports studios here. And all of the different players available, multiple sizes, kids, women's, men's. Kelly Green jerseys, the freshest in all of sports, in my humble opinion. Get yours now, chatsports.com/Kelly Green. We'll put that link down below in the comment section and in the description of this video. More training camp notes before we hop on out of here. With the second team offense, Tyler Steen, who played a lot of tackle at Alabama, was playing left tackle. If he could be a swing tackle in this offense and a backup right guard, that versatility, I think, is really valuable for an Eagles team that has a great starting offensive line, but the depth a little bit of a concern. And then recently signed Dennis Kelly was playing left guard to the left of Tyler Steen. Patrick Johnson, the 7th-round pick out of Tulane a couple of years ago, the linebacker made this team last year. He's noticeably having a really good camp up to this point. And then Kelee Ringo almost picked off Jalen Hurts in a red zone drill. Jalen Hurts up to this point, as we're about to talk about, has not thrown an interception in training camp, but Kelee Ringo with a good read, nearly able to pick him off. Hurts today 8 of 12, 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. He started off practice 6 of 6 with a really nice pass to Devontae Smith. Those numbers according to Elliot Shore-Parks of 94 WIP. This look right here is a look of determination, and Hurts with another notable quote. He has become a quote machine the last year and change. He said, "The standard is the standard. The goals may change, but the standard never does. I just think there's a sense of urgency to get better. We're just chipping away one day at a time." So that does it for Eagles training camp instant reaction. Thanks to everybody who tuned in today. But the content is going to continue to come your way. Philadelphia Eagles now live today, Thursday, 5 o'clock Eastern. Lock us in, subscribe, and join. It's going to be a lot of fun. Super chat party, Eagles Now happy hour. You know the deal. And if you plan on joining us, once again, hit that thumbs up icon. Give me a real John down below, and we'll catch you in a few hours here on the program. Same time, same place.